arm side. And what I always do every time I gather, every single time I gather with my back threads. The reason I always gather with my back threads is not because the back threads are right over the front side. It doesn't matter which side you grab, but since I started sewing, I've always grabbed from the back side so that if I pick up any project at any point that's half done that maybe I started 3 months ago, I know that if I pull my back threads, that's where I left it, okay? Because if you pull your back and your front, you lock them and you can't gather it, okay?
It's a back thread.
The back side, like from the wrong side of the fabric, okay? Versus these two. You have to grab two sides. You can do the front or you can do the back, but you can't do both. If I pull both of these, I'm gonna lock the stitch and I won't be able to gather it, okay? So that's why I have just always gathered from the back, okay? So what I do is I take these two, I hold them together, I wrap them around a finger like so, till it gets a little longer, then I can wrap it around a couple if I like, but for now, I'm gonna grab it like that, and I'm just with these fingers, I'm gonna pull, okay? And start gathering. Now, you don't want to pull too hard because if you snap the thread, you have to redo it, okay? So I'm just going to slowly push my gathers, okay? And can everybody see me? Yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm just pushing. Now, when it gets a little longer, I usually just make a little knot for me to hold it with. Now, you don't have to do this, but I usually just do. And then I can pull from that. Okay, I mean, I just like something to grab onto a little bit better. So I'm just pushing these gathers. Okay, I'm gonna keep them all nice and pretty tight. Okay. Now, I basically work my way to about halfway. There is a notch in here, right? There's my notch. Okay, so I've worked halfway. Now I'm gonna do the other side. You don't have to do it exactly to the halfway mark, but it's just a little bit easier because you can pull from both sides. So I'm just gonna grab these threads. Again, I'm working from the back, okay? If I went from the back here and then grabbed from the front, once they met, they would be locked and I wouldn't be able to do anything. Okay, so I'm just gonna, again, wrap this little bit of thread around my fingers, pull it, and once you get a little bit longer, if you want, you can wrap it however feels good, okay? And all I'm doing is gathering to kind of that midway point until they look pretty consistent. Okay, now let's just kind of look what it looks like. All right, so here I'm kind of lacking gathers, but here looks good and here looks good. So I'm just gonna sort of adjust. And again, I'm pulling on my longer thread and just sort of adjusting them. Now, we're not gonna actually put this in an armhole of any kind, so I don't need to get this to a certain length. But normally, I would want this gather to be a certain amount that's gonna fit in my armhole, okay? For this example, we're just gathering it to a nice look, okay? So now I'm gonna work on the bottom.